Welcome to Relaxed Reddit Readings. Today we have 4 Reddit stories for you. Family drama and life choices, Reddit stories that hit too close to home. Story 1. Mom wants me to miss Dad's funeral for my sister's school dance. So my mom just told me I can't go to my dad's funeral because my sister has a school dance. I'm 17 and honestly still processing everything that's happened. My father just passed away after a long battle with illness, and even though he wasn't fully in my life growing up, we'd gotten really close over the past 2 years. The funeral is being held by my grandma in Canada where Dad was living his final months, and I live about 2 hours away from the border. When my mom got the call about the funeral details, she seemed supportive at first. She said she understood how important this was to me and that we'd figure out a way to get me there. But then she found out the date conflicts with my sister Rosie's school dance. Apparently it's some big formal event that Rosie's been planning for months. My mom sat me down and basically said I can't go to the funeral because quote, Rosie has been looking forward to this dance and she needs me to help her get ready and drive her there. I couldn't believe what I was hearing. I told her this was my father's funeral, that this would be my only chance to say goodbye, to get closure, to be with family who's also grieving. But she kept insisting that the dance was just as important and that Dad, quote, wouldn't have wanted me to miss out on normal teenage experiences. That's when I lost it. I called her selfish and heartless. I said she was a terrible mother for prioritizing a school dance over her son's need to grieve and honor his father. She grounded me and said I was being dramatic and disrespectful. My stepdad tried to play mediator but ultimately sided with her, saying family harmony was more important than quote, dwelling on the past. The thing is, I know my mom never liked my dad. They had a messy divorce and she's always resented the time I spent with him, especially these past 2 years when we got closer. Part of me wonders if she's using Rosie's dance as an excuse to prevent me from going. I've been reaching out to other family members to see if someone else can drive me or if I can take a bus, but my mom says if I go against her wishes, there will be serious consequences. My friends think she's being completely unreasonable, but she keeps saying I'm too young to understand the importance of supporting my sister and maintaining family stability. I'm torn between respecting my mother's authority and doing what I know in my heart is right. This feels like one of those moments that will define our relationship forever. Am I wrong for wanting to honor my father even if it means defying my mother? If you're enjoying these stories, hit that like button and let me know in the comments which story you relate to the most. Story 2. I used my savings to throw my sister a birthday party after parents forgot. So I just spent my entire savings account on my little sister's birthday party, and now my parents are furious with me. Here's what happened. My sister's birthday came around recently, and my parents were completely swamped with some supplier crisis for their electronics business. I mean, they were working around the clock trying to sort out this mess, and in all the chaos, they just completely forgot about her birthday. Like, the day came and went without so much as a happy birthday. I watched my little sister's face that morning when she woke up expecting something, anything, and there was just nothing. My parents were already on work calls before she even got out of bed. It broke my heart. So I decided to do something about it. I'd been saving up money from tutoring local students, and I had a decent amount put away. My brother and I pooled our resources and threw together what I thought was a pretty amazing birthday party for her. We got decorations, invited her friends, bought a beautiful cake, got her some presents she'd been wanting. We basically went all out to make sure she felt special and loved on her day. During the party, everything seemed great at first. She was laughing and playing with her friends, and I felt really good about what we'd done. But then something shifted. She started looking around for our parents, asking where Mom and Dad were, why they weren't there to sing happy birthday with everyone else. And then she just started crying. She said she missed Mom and Dad and that they didn't bring her any gifts, which made her feel like they didn't love her. It was heartbreaking. The next day, word got around to family friends and relatives about the party. People started commenting on social media, praising my brother and me for stepping up, but also kind of indirectly calling out my parents for dropping the ball. That's when things got ugly. My parents confronted me, and they were livid. They said I'd embarrassed them and made them look like terrible parents in front of everyone. They accused me of being manipulative and attention-seeking, like I'd thrown the party just to make myself look good at their expense. They said I should have reminded them about the birthday instead of taking matters into my own hands. But here's the thing, it shouldn't be my job to remind them of their own daughter's birthday. And honestly, even if I had reminded them, they were so consumed with work that I doubt they would have had time to do anything meaningful anyway. My mom said I was quote, playing parent and overstepping boundaries. My dad said I was being dramatic and that missing one birthday wasn't the end of the world. But they didn't see their daughter's face when she realized they'd forgotten. They didn't see how happy she was during the party, or how sad she got when she realized they weren't there to share it with her. Now there's this weird tension in the house where my parents are barely speaking to me, and I'm starting to wonder if I made things worse instead of better. Was I wrong to step in when they dropped the ball? Story 3. My coworker asked me to close my business for her wedding. So one of my employees just asked me to shut down my entire business for her wedding, and I'm honestly not sure how to handle this. I own a small business with about 15 employees, and one of them recently got engaged. Congratulations to her, right? Well, apparently she's decided that she wants her entire work family to be at her wedding, which sounds sweet in theory, but here's the problem, she wants me to close the business for the day so everyone can attend. When she first brought this up, I thought she was joking. But no, she was completely serious. She came into my office with this whole presentation about how meaningful it would be to have everyone there, how we're all like family, and how it would show what a supportive workplace we have. She even suggested that closing for her wedding would be great for team morale and company culture. Now don't get me wrong, I like this employee. She's been with us for a couple of years, she does good work, and I want her to be happy. But closing my business for a day isn't just about giving people time off, it's about losing a full day of revenue, potentially disappointing customers who have appointments scheduled, and setting a precedent that frankly terrifies me. What happens when the next employee gets married? Or when someone has a big anniversary party? Or a kid's graduation? Where do I draw the line? I tried to explain this to her gently. I said that while I'd love to support her special day, closing the entire business wasn't feasible. I offered alternatives, maybe people could request the day off individually, maybe we could do a skeleton crew to keep things running, maybe we could close a few hours early so people could make the reception. But she seemed really disappointed and said it wouldn't be the same if the whole team wasn't there together. She made some comments about how other companies she knows have done similar things, and how she thought our workplace was more like a family than just a business. The thing is, I do try to create a family-like atmosphere at work. We celebrate birthdays, I'm flexible with time off, I try to be understanding about personal issues. But there's still a business to run, and I have responsibilities to customers, suppliers, and honestly to my other employees who depend on their paychecks. Some of my other employees have heard about this request, and reactions are mixed. A few think it would be nice and are pressuring me to just do it. Others are worried about losing a day's pay or having to deal with angry customers when we reopen. One person even said it would set a bad precedent and that employees shouldn't expect the business to revolve around their personal lives. I'm stuck between wanting to be a supportive boss and maintaining professional boundaries. Part of me wonders if I'm being too rigid, but another part of me thinks this request is completely unreasonable. The wedding is in 2 months, so I need to make a decision soon. She's been kind of cold to me since our conversation, and I can tell she thinks I'm being unsupportive. But I also can't help feeling like she's putting me in an impossible position. Should I just bite the bullet and close for the day, or am I right to maintain this boundary? Story 4. I refused to help my mom get another car after she destroyed my credit. So my mom just asked me to co-sign for another car loan, and I had to remind her how she completely destroyed my credit the last time I helped her. I'm 30 years old and I've always been really careful with my finances. I use credit cards responsibly, don't overspend, and only finance things I know I can pay off. My credit score has always been something I'm proud of. My mom, on the other hand, has the complete opposite financial history. She's filed for bankruptcy multiple times, and here's the kicker, it's not because she doesn't make money. She's usually had jobs paying around $80,000 a year or more. It's just that she makes terrible financial decisions constantly. A while back, before I really understood how bad her financial habits were, she convinced me to co-sign for a car loan. She gave me this whole sob story about needing reliable transportation to get to work, how it was just temporary until she could refinance in her own name, how she'd never put me in a bad position because I was her son. Like an idiot, I believed her and signed on the dotted line. At first, everything seemed fine. She was making payments on time, and I thought maybe she'd finally gotten her act together. But then slowly, things started falling apart. First, she was a few days late on a payment. Then a week late. Then she missed a payment entirely. When I called to ask what was going on, she always had some excuse, unexpected expenses, work was slow, she'd catch up next month. But next month never came. The missed payments started piling up, and my credit score began tanking. I was getting calls from the loan company, notices in the mail, and my once perfect credit was getting destroyed. The worst part was that I found out she was still spending money on stupid stuff while claiming she couldn't afford the car payment. She'd post pictures on social media of expensive dinners out, new clothes, weekend trips, all while my credit was going down the drain. I tried talking to her about it, but she'd just get defensive and say I didn't understand her situation. Eventually, I had to make a choice, either let my credit get completely ruined, or take over the payments myself. I couldn't afford to have my credit destroyed, so I ended up paying off the remainder of the loan myself. We're talking about several $1,000s that I had to scramble to come up with. The whole experience was a nightmare, and it took me years to rebuild my credit score to where it had been before. I told myself I'd never put myself in that position again, no matter who asked. Now she's back, asking for help with another car. Her current one apparently needs major repairs that would cost more than the car is worth, and she needs something reliable. She's giving me the same speech about how she's changed, how she's more responsible now, how she really needs my help because I'm the only person in her life with good credit. When I reminded her what happened last time, she got upset and said I was holding the past against her. She said people change and that I should give her another chance. She even tried to make me feel guilty by saying she's my mother and that families should help each other out. But here's the thing, she's never even acknowledged how much that situation hurt me financially and emotionally. She's never apologized for the stress she put me through or offered to pay me back for what I had to cover. She just acts like it's water under the bridge and expects me to trust her again. Am I being too harsh by refusing to help her, or am I right to protect myself from another financial disaster? If you enjoyed these stories, drop a comment telling me which one was your favorite. And if you want more relaxed Reddit readings, make sure to like, subscribe, and hit the bell so you never miss a video. Thanks for watching. If you enjoyed these stories, like, comment and subscribe for more relaxed Reddit readings.